My name is Andrew. If you don't know me, you should subscribe. But today we're going to be doing a video all about my most disappointing reads of 2022. I have like 10 disappointing reads I want to talk about. These are all going to be from 3-star to 1-star. I had a lot more 3 stars than what I'm going to include in this video, but I wanted to put the ones in here that actually made me angry and that I actually didn't enjoy. So even though I had some other 3 stars, I actually did enjoy them and thought they were just okay, but the ones on this list I thought were disappointing. We're gonna start at 3 stars and then we're gonna work our way up to my one book that I had in 2022 that was a 1-star that I literally hate. And I just want to clarify, I don't actually hate these books or have any hate towards the authors, and I definitely would pick up work from some of these authors, and I have for most of them. I've read multiple from them, so I do still like them as an author, like them as, you know, a general human being. It's no hate at all. It's just these books let me down a little bit. They just weren't my taste, but they might be yours, but it might be no one's. Okay, let's get started. Number 10, I guess. We're gonna go 10 to 1, but whatever. Okay, my first 3-star is Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston, I think is the author's name. I don't have that book. I don't have any of these books anymore. They're gone. They got kicked out. The trash took them out a long time ago. Like, they're gone. Well, I did not enjoy that book. I gave it 3 stars. I thought it was a little less than okay. I could have gave it like 2 stars. I just didn't enjoy it at all. I don't know, something about the writing, I just felt it didn't click with me. It didn't feel genuine to me. I didn't fall for it, so didn't like that one. Then the next 3-star I had was The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. I don't think Christina Lauren is for me. I've never heard of a premise of one of their books that is something I think I would absolutely want. So I read The Unhoneymooners because my friend told me to and told me that she really liked it and that it would be good. And so I was like, okay, let me give it a chance, and didn't like it. So it didn't pass the Andrew Reed's taste test for me. Unhoneymooners just wasn't worth all the hype that it gets. Sorry. Okay. Then I had another 3-star, which was Instructions for Dancing by NICOLE, which I was so disappointed because I love NICOLE. I love everything, and The Sun is also a star by her. I really enjoyed those reads when I read them a couple years back when they came out. But Instructions for Dancing just felt pretty short, and the fact that it's just a romance and I didn't fall for the romance, I wasn't feeling like butterflies in my stomach, excited about anything, and the characters were kind of flat. So I was so disappointed because I really wanted to like that book. It was also one of the first books I read in 2022 and it was like the first one I was disappointed with, so that was sad. Okay, next is Gallant. I gave Gallant by Victoria Schwab, V.E. Schwab, 3 stars. I didn't really like Gallant. It isn't talked about a lot on BookTube, in the book community at all. I think there's a reason for that, because it wasn't, you know, her usual. It wasn't like vicious. It wasn't Addie LaRue style. It just seemed like she had an idea, so she just quickly put out a book, quickly, you know, pushed it onto her publishers, and they put it out into the world. That's not to say she didn't put a lot of work into it, and maybe she did think it was going to be, you know, her next big thing, or she just wrote it for her own enjoyment and because it was a story that she felt needed to be told. I understand that, and it is interesting. It's intriguing, because V.E. Schwab is just an intriguing person, and she just writes very cleverly and hauntingly, and that is how Gallant was. It might have been the time I read it too. It's quite dark and I want to say like isolated. It's just very somber, solemn, all these big words. Just describe it perfectly if you've read it. But it still wasn't enough. There wasn't enough of the world and the characters. There wasn't enough put into it. It was definitely just a standalone, and it kind of felt like it needed to be fleshed out more. So that's why it was disappointing for me. Next, I'm going to talk about 3 books that are all from the same author, so I kind of counted them together, but they're all 2 stars. So we're moving into 2 stars now. They're all by Colleen Hoover. I read a lot of Colleen Hoover because I found that they were just simple and easy books to read, and I was doing a lot of audiobooks on Scribd, and they have like her entire backlist collection. So I read Without Merit, and Without Merit has to be one of my most disliked books. Like I did not like Without Merit. The premise is weird. The fact that she has the main character has a sister, and she kind of like takes her boyfriend, and they kind of like share their boyfriend. It's just a lot. It's just weird. And I didn't like Without Merit. I didn't like what it did. It had a lot of important topics like self-harm and I think suicidal thoughts and things like that. Suicidal attempt maybe as well, and they weren't done well at all. They were just in there for shock value, I don't know, but it didn't explore it in a healthy, non-toxic way, so I didn't enjoy that. Then November 9, don't even get me started on November 9. That one is just bad. It's just like the main character got really hurt and her life ruined by the guy that she forgives and loves. No, it was cool how it had a time jump back and forth in past and present. I enjoyed seeing that, but other than that, like, oh, that book did not do anything for me. And then we have Ugly Love, also a 2-star, also Colleen Hoover, also a book that shouldn't be hyped as much as it is, shouldn't be promoted as much as it is, and shouldn't be read by young teenage girls as much as it is. It was cringy. I did cry because one of the things that happens in the book is just intrinsically sad for anyone to have to go through something like that. So I did cry, and usually books that make me feel emotions I like, but that was the only thing that it did well, and nothing else in the book made up for, you know, the rest of how not good it was. Moving on to another 2-star, The Temporary Roomie by Sarah Adams. I read the cheat sheet by Sarah Adams and it was a 5-star. I love the cheat sheet. I love the romance in there. I love everything about that book. It's just so fun and good, and, you know, gave me the feels, the butterfly feels in my stomach for a romance. But The Temporary Roomie was not it at all. Sorry, I know this looks different. I had to use my phone because my camera just died. That's great. Anyway, talking about The Temporary Roomie, I didn't like this one. I didn't like the main character. I didn't like the romance. I don't know. I don't think I vibed with the story at all, so it didn't connect with me and I just didn't like it. Then we have People We Meet on Vacation. Also a 2-star, a book that I really don't like, and what makes me very cautious of Emily Henry. Is it Emily Henry? Is that her name? I think so. I don't know. That book, I didn't buy it. The Best Friends to Lovers just wasn't giving Best Friends to Lovers. It wasn't giving anything. It wasn't giving lovers at all. Sorry, I keep messing with my hair because it's kind of like making me mad. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really think the main characters were swoon worthy, like the couple or the main guy, Alex, or Poppy, I think is her name. She wasn't really an interesting character to follow, so I was quite a bit bored throughout the whole thing, which kind of sucks. I know she doesn't really write just romance. It's more fiction and going through other themes, but still, overall, I just thought the book was pretty boring and lackluster. So I'm gonna try some of her other books, but that one just I didn't really enjoy. Last one I'm gonna talk about is my 1-star and that I didn't like. And this book didn't even come out in 2022. It's an old book, but it's Fix Her Up by Tessa Bailey. I thought that book was absolutely not good, and I was very disappointed because I like Tessa Bailey's It Happened One Summer and Hook, Line, and Sinker. But with this one, Fix Her Up, the characters, I just don't understand why the main character had to be a clown. Her side job was being a clown, and then the guy like still liked her one time when she was, you know, dressed as a clown. I get supporting people you love, but I don't know. I just was like, why do you have to do this? And other than that, I also think the main character was just too cringy. The relationship was artificial. I didn't enjoy it. I don't even think the smut was good. So overall, just not, you know, up to my standards of what I want from a romance. I don't know anybody that actually likes that book, and I'd be surprised if people did. And if you did, I'm sorry, but you've got to reevaluate some things in your life. But it was old, so I give it a little bit of a pass because it was an older book and things were different back then, I guess. That is all the books that I have to talk about. I'm sorry my camera died and now we have this weird different setup. But that's going to be it for this video. So let me know what some of your disappointing reads down below in the comments and we can chat about them. If any of these you liked, I'm so sorry. We can argue about it, but I'm pretty firm on my standpoints on these. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to check out any of my social media, it'll be all be linked down below, and that's going to be it for this video. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!